Okay. Shit ways to protest. Hey, Bill, piggybacking off last week's... Okay, hey, Bill, piggybacking... I thought it was going to be some long nickname. Hey, Bill, piggybacking off last week's email about the soup-throwing assholes. I'd like to say that blocking traffic is the absolute most pointless and selfish way to protest anything. You also forgot ineffective. Because I don't care what you're protesting. The second you block traffic... The amount of people, I guess they do it because they want to get publicity. It's still a stupid thing to do. Keeping people from getting to work or picking up their kids is fucking stupid. I'm not going to read you dumb sign. You know what? I love you guys. You guys are just as dumb as... I'm not going to read you dumb sign, not your dumb sign, you dumb sign. I have to pick up my kid so he's not standing outside the school by himself. I have to get to my job or I'll get fired and I can't feed my kid. These are the things that go through my head. Yeah, can you imagine if they ever stopped traffic and there was somebody in labor or something like that and God forbid something horrible happened? That's on the horizon. I'm never reading your fucking sign. Have I said that yet? Even if I did read your dumb fucking sign, there's nothing I can do about literally anyone's problems. I'm trying to stay afloat in my own goddamn life. You just in a very profound way described why the system runs the way it does and why they grind everybody down to nothing. Is because you're so busy trying to stay afloat, you don't have time to help out your fellow man. All right, this is getting depressing. All right, evil farms. All right, Jesus Christ, you guys are going dark this week. Dear BBC, Bill Burr, comedian, congrats on taking your career to another level. I didn't realize I did that. The guy says, your recent Red Rock show has gone to another level. Well, thank you very much. According to the critics, I missed the mark again. I hope I keep missing the mark, because missing the mark translates to wonderful ticket sales. A few weeks ago, you responded to a viewer's comments about plastic in the ocean. One of your responses was to eat farmed salmon versus eating wild salmon. Sorry to tell you that farmed salmon is the greatest factor destroying wild salmon and also is full of drugs. My home province, I don't fuck with fish, so I'm not worried about this. My home province, British Columbia, has supported fish farms despite the well-documented science proving they are killing wild salmon. Farm salmon are subjugated to many diseases, thus are loaded up with antibiotics and other drugs. One of the problems are lice, which cannot be controlled in this environment, just like a grade 3 classroom when Billy Jr. shows up with head lice. They have placed the farms in waters that are in narrow, protected inlets, and thus the wild young salmon pass them while leaving the rivers. Yeah, because this is all more profitable to do it this way. Dude, human beings are just fucking horrible. These infested farms pass the lice on to the wild salmon, and the young salmon cannot survive with a few lice. Our spawning salmon rates are in great decline in these areas. There are several contributing factors such as commercial fishing and aboriginals having limited restrictions. The governments like to blame the sports fishermen. Yeah, because they don't pay them any money, because it's an activity that are mostly wealthy white hetero old men. Oh boy, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Where are we going with this? A group that carries a massive target on their back. Easy politics. No, they blame the sports fishermen because they don't fund their fucking campaigns the way commercial fishermen does. Commercial fisher is also run by wealthy white men. Oh boy, I was wondering why you were blaming the aboriginals having limited restrictions. Yeah, they're the problem. Commercial fishing and aboriginals. Okay, all right. But the main problems are fish farms. The lice problem is so bad that the operators use endless amounts of antibiotics, which then results in the fish having immunity to the antibiotics. Then the billionaire farm owners dump a drug called slice, a neurotoxin from the large boats, which kills most underwater wildlife like a nuclear bomb. They are also using hydrogen peroxide. These farms are owned by a foreign company based in Norway, now called Naui. These farms employ few people. Despite the well-documented science, they are allowed to operate thanks to government loopholes. Unclear government agency regulation between Fisheries Canada and Canada's Agriculture Ministry. When a responsible minister begins to make a change, they are shuffled off to a new ministry. The farms gain support by several different First Nation bands, likely because of money. It's all because of money. They are hereditary chiefs. Many line their own pockets while educated ones juggle a confusing... All right. Anyway, the fish escape, they can create a mutant fish. What are we doing? So stop eating farmed salmon. If the salmon you buy at a store, order at a restaurant, or as sushi doesn't say wild, it is pellet fish killing our wild salmon. Thanks, Bill. Well, let's prevent some sushi restaurant or any other restaurant to just say it's wild when it isn't. How am I going to prove it? You can tell by the color, man. Whatever. What are you going to do? All right. Then what? Then what? I go vegan, and then like all of the vegetables are sprayed so full of pesticides, like I'll probably get fucking cancer. I eat fucking meat. It's cows that ate other cows. It's unfucking believable. It's amazing how none of these people get shit for what the fuck they're doing. You know, I mean, we're living in a fucking world where you can literally poison the food supply, have nothing happen to you. But if you go on stage and tell the wrong fucking joke, you can lose your life. I shouldn't say your life, your ability to fucking earn a living. All right. Will shaving my head make me look like a neo-Nazi? Hey, Billopecia. I got my hair cut recently, and the stylist told me my hair is very slightly thinning at the crown. I mentioned I'd probably shave my head as soon as it's noticeable, to which the stylist replied, I wouldn't recommend it. You're so pale that people might assume you're part of the Aryan Brotherhood. Yeah, well, that also came from someone that cuts hair for a living. It's true. I'm a pasty Norwegian, but I'm not going to avoid shaving my head because of some people's ignorant assumptions. Otherwise, the racists win. What are your thoughts? Has anyone ever accused you of being a white supremacist because of your bald albino ass? No, they haven't. Shaving your head will not make you look like a neo-Nazi. All right? If you shave your head and then fucking, put on a Nazi armband, I think that's what it'll be, If you're standing there with a dad bod and like flip-flops, I don't think they're thinking, oh, God, he's starting the Fourth Reich over there. No, actually, if you keep yourself in shape, I feel, and you shave your head, people will think you know some sort of mixed martial arts. It's kind of like, I'm like one of those snakes that have the same coloring as a poisonous snake, so people think they're poisonous, but they're not really poisonous. Yeah, that's what I am. I'm like a gardener snake that looks like a king snake. Anyway, plowing ahead. Speaking of that, I saw this fucking... speaking of mixed martial arts, I saw this clip from the Joe Rogan Experience podcast where this dude was talking about going into jail and learning the different politics of jail and all of that shit. And this guy actually, I'm assuming, had a mixed martial arts background and was able to fight off attackers. And this guy told a fucking story of finding out that there was basically some hit out on him. And he, the guy in the cell next to him told him. And I guess he knew that means his cellmate knew, because they tell the cellmate to clear out of there or whatever. So the fucking next day, the second the thing opens, the cellmate runs out and two guys ran in to stab this guy up, and he was able to fight him off. That's what I got out of that whole thing. Aside from the fact that guards just stand and watch fights, and sometimes organize them, which is fucking beyond barbaric. I was in a good mood before this fucking podcast started. I don't know what's, is there any, guys, we need to like cleanse here. Can we, some sort of good news? Have you heard anything good out there? Has somebody just taken time out of their day to help somebody out? Did they find the woman that fucking chopped up her boyfriend in 3 different... Have they fucking found her yet? Can we get some sort of ray of light? Is there a place to go where your food hasn't been fucked with? Jesus Christ. Can somebody just say that the fucking Astros cheated? Anyway, Jesus Christ. These fucking guys, if they, you know what's funny is they just came out and said that they cheated. I would have rooted for the Astros against the Yankees. But the fact that they didn't, they actually had me rooting for the fucking New York Yankees. See, it's all connected, man. All right, anyway, that's the podcast. My daughter's not feeling well, so I got to go up there. And I already starting to feel like this whole podcast, if you haven't noticed me clearing my throat and fucking hacking up whatever she has, I think I'm starting to get it. So that's what I have to look forward to this week. But at least we're not sick on Halloween. You know, we should be hopefully good by then.